Okay, great. So if you didn't hear me before, if you have any Jenette skincare products that you want to have ready to experience with all of us here, otherwise you can just follow along in your Jenette skincare product guide. And I'm going to try to keep this to 75 to 90 minutes so that we can open it up for questions, and we will unmute everybody. I mean, honestly, it's a small group, so we might even be able to answer questions as we go, especially if it's something very specific about that product, then let's talk about it. So thank you guys so much for coming. A lot of you already know about me and my line, but I want to give just a little background. I think it's important to know how Jenette Stearns came to fruition with the Jenette skincare line. So when I was 19, I started opening a body consultant wellness spa with my mom. That was a long time ago, before wellness centers were even really a thing. And we did everything for the body and the face. And by 22 years old, I was educating for Aveda. I have my degree in speech communications. I did all of that and got my degree, and I really found my heart and my offering was healing people's skin and really focusing on aromatherapy and antioxidants and how important nutrient-rich products are for the skin. And with Aveda, we were limited, and we had to hide our acids in our treatment rooms because we weren't allowed to use them. And I thought, you know what, I need to be able to do more for the skin. So then I went and worked for a dermatologist in Beverly Hills for a few years and got medically certified, did a lot of peels, crazy peels, microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, and realized that that wasn't really the healthiest way to go because the products that they had for support were full of toxins and chemicals and endocrine disruptors, which was the exact opposite of what I believe in and what I feel is key to healthy skin. And that's why we're all here, right? Because we want to have beautiful, healthy skin forever. And now I want to really go into what is the root cause of aging? Do we know? Inflammation. So root cause of aging, inflammation. Inflammation can come in all shapes, sizes, food, drinks, even ingredients. So how do we combat the root cause of aging? Well, a lot of it is just living a healthy life. You know, drinking water, half your body weight in ounces, and that's if you do not drink caffeine or alcohol. If you're having caffeine and alcohol and you're exercising and sweating a lot, you want to drink even more than half your body weight in ounces every single day. You want to exercise, you want to have nutrient-rich foods, you want to avoid smoking, excessive alcohol, caffeine, cutting out just processed foods. Those are really bad. And managing your stress, like those are really key components to keeping a balanced, healthy life. You've heard all about this, but maybe if you're super stressed and you're not doing deep breathing, you're not meditating, okay, maybe it's time to add that because the stress is going to take over your cells and it can lead to cancer. We know that, right? Everything that I'm discussing and sharing with you today is from all of my 25 years of studying medical and science journals, doctors, holistic, Western. It is key to know that the root cause of aging, inflammation, is not just by what we're eating. It's not just by stress. It's everything surrounding us and what we're putting in our body. And now we're walking through microplastics. I mean, some sad news, and I'm not going to go down the sad story for the rest of the class, but I do want to share something that I just found out last year. The cleanest air in the world was the top of the Swiss Alps. And now they found microplastics. So we don't have clean air anywhere anymore. And now we're ingesting plastic. So I just cannot stress enough how important it is to live just a clean life inside and out. And we're going to talk about how we can do that through Jenette Skincare and things that really fight against it. We have some new attendees. We're going to get them settled. You guys, there's water, there's tea, there's wine. If you need to use the restroom, it's back there. And I'm just giving a background of Jenette Skincare and how I got to where I got and how I developed Jenette Skincare. And now we're kind of taking a deep dive into fighting inflammation, the root cause of aging. So inflammation is killing our live cells. What can we do to counterbalance? What can we do? Yes, drink water, eat good, exercise. What else can we do? We can get on an anti-inflammatory skin and body line. And that is why I developed Jenette Skincare, because it's treating the root cause of inflammation. So your skin is not going to age the same way when you are getting what we're going to be doing a deep dive in. So top on the list for fighting inflammation is omegas. You've heard of omegas, eating the fish. Okay, omega fatty acids. You can get that in cold pressed oils. Cold pressed oils have not been tampered with. They're the only oils that I use in my line. Anything that is organic or not organic that is not cold pressed has been tampered with. So it's not going to be as healing to our system. And that's topically and ingesting. That's why they talk about, the big nutritionists, they talk about the food that we're eating should only be cooked in certain oils, depending on temperature, right? So if you have high heat, you only want to be using grapeseed oil. Maybe you could use coconut oil, but you really want to make sure that the oil is not breaking down and turning into a carcinogen. So that is something, that people don't know. You really want to do a deep dive. If you're cooking all your food, make sure you're using the right oil. So next on the list, there's superfoods. So we want as many superfoods as possible to calm and balance our bodies, our skin. So that includes green tea, that includes acai, it includes mulberries. I mean, there's 1,000 superfoods, maybe 1,000,000 superfoods, but get as many as you can. Green tea's top on the list, cacao, probiotics, zinc is on that list, and magnesium. So those are just like top on the list for fighting inflammation. So as much as you can get internally and topically of those things, you are on a really good anti-aging and probably preventing cancer cells from developing. So the worst inflammatory foods, I just want to, go through again, anything processed, alcohol, red and processed meats, refined grains, sodium, dairy, and fried foods. Of course, there are more. I'm just giving you the top kind of 5 of every category we're talking about right now. And something important to know, another way that we're attacked by inflammation is when we're getting sick, when we get a virus, when we are maybe having a bacteria, our body is inflamed and it's having a hard time fighting things off, and then you're depleted. So at those times, you really need even more anti-inflammatory things. You need to be drinking more water. You need to be getting more sleep. You need to make sure you're not using products that have alcohol. I mean, my rule is looking at the first 5 ingredients of any product that you're using. So if we're going to pick up Be Clean Detoxifying Elixir, okay, well, the base is organic cold pressed grapeseed oil. Well, I know that that is pretty damn pure. That's the base of this. A lot of oils that you're buying on Amazon or at other spas, even at the grocery store, sometimes you look, whatever it says on the label, it might not even have that in it as the base. So first 5 ingredients, rule of thumb, you do not want your first 5 ingredients to have any kind of alcohol in it, a paraben, glycols, those, even sulfates, those are potentially can cause long-term harm, and they're endocrine disruptors. We want to keep our skin and our body as healthy as possible. So any questions about that? Because now I'm going to just dive right into Jenette Skincare and dissect each product and how it is anti-inflammatory. Yes.
Glycols.
Okay, so glycols, they are fillers. So Sarah asked a really good question. What are glycols? There are a lot of different glycols, and it's a little bit of trickery because it used to be that the bad ones were propylene glycol, butylene glycol. Now there's pentylene glycol. Glycols are fillers. They allow your product to feel better. Kind of like the sulfates in your shampoo that make your hair feel really clean and it suds up. A lot of, healthy hair care products, they don't have the sulfates and then they don't suds up and people think, oh, my hair's not clean. So it's a similar kind of thing, like, oh, people want that emulsification. They want it to feel just so soft and creamy. Well, we don't know if they leave our system. So, just like fossil fuels are, the base of Vaseline, Aquaphor, we don't really know if those are leaving our systems either. I mean, would you ever drink gasoline? Would you ever slather gasoline on your body? Well, you are, because most beauty products, that's the base. They've changed the name. It doesn't say gasoline. It says, help me here. I mean, there's trickery. They've tricked you. It's like, it says mineral oil, but now it doesn't say that. It's like a petrol, but it's like a petroleumata.
Yeah.
It's like they fancified what they're calling these. And if you look it up, again, first 5 ingredients, if it has something that says mineral oil, alcohol, something that you're not really sure of, just look it up and you're going to find out the answer. So any other questions on that?
EWG Skin Deep, that is a great resource. If you don't have any ingredient, you can just look it up and it'll tell you, and it rates it.
Right.
And it can tell you if it's rated on numbers.
Yes, it's rated on numbers. And the thing about that, I just had a client send me a product that is making her break out, and it is on there. The base is avocado oil. Avocado oil traps a lot of moisture, but it also, avocado oil can be healthy for very dry skin, but the challenge with that product that she sent me, one of the middle ingredients, it had a glycol and it's on the safe list. So it's like, you kind of have to figure out what you're going to be okay with. My rule is like, don't have the base have it in that, but if someone's prone to breaking out, avocado oil is going to trap moisture in. It's not going to allow the skin to breathe. So I personally believe in using seeds. Those are the only oils that I'm using are from seeds. They're a lot lighter and they allow the skin to breathe. And I've never found anybody who's allergic to seeds, but a lot of people are allergic to nuts. So I do steer clear from gluten, soy, any animal products, and nuts. So most people, I'd say 99% of people have been able to use and trust Jenette Skincare for 12 years now. And, my clients, when you meet my clients and the staff that have been a part of Jenette Skincare and being in LA, we don't age the same way. We don't. And it is by committing to an anti-inflammatory line, but also lifestyle. So let's get into Be Happy. That is one of the first products that I ever launched, and Be Happy can be for everybody. All of the toners, Be Happy, Be Divine, and Be Clean, they're all infused with probiotic. Again, probiotic is top on the list for fighting inflammation and keeping your cells alive. We want to be able to keep our cells alive. Why? Because we're walking through a toxic world. So you can miss these anytime throughout the day. If you have your Be Happy, I recommend misting it. And you know, just kind of give yourself a little sensory experience with it. It has rosemary, it has litsea. This is incredible for mental clarity. It's great for fatigue. If you need a pick-me-up, this is going to give you that pick-me-up. So for Be Happy, if anybody is not sure on where to start in Jenette skincare, or they're just not sure what's going on with their skin, Be Happy is the toner for them, for you. This will instantly balance your pH just by misting it. You can also take it on a gauze pad. We prefer Marley's Monsters. They're reusable cotton pads and you can use them a million times. And after you cleanse, you can spray it on a pad and wipe, and you're going to get this extra cleanse without ever stripping and robbing your skin. So this is the toner for anybody who needs just balance, or they're not sure what's going on with their skin. If you're stripped and robbed, if you're breaking out and dry, this would be the way to go. This will give you an incredible reset, and kids can start using this at 8 years old. 8 years old, kids start getting little bumps on their nose, their chin, sometimes their forehead. In my 25 years of this, I feel like it's always the nose and the chin first. And then once they're going through puberty, it hits up to the forehead in between the brows. But this is a safe, very healing, calming toner that will help shift their skin. You can miss this anytime throughout the day. But the probiotic in all of my line, when I talk about the probiotics, it's all from a radish root fermentation process. And that fermentation process, it creates a lactobacilli. So if you've ever taken a really good probiotic for your gut, okay, what does that do? It takes stress off of the gut. It prevents the stomach and the intestinal tract and lining, and it just gives you this awesome clean out in a gentle way, especially if you're eating meat, dairy, caffeine, alcohol. We probably need some kind of probiotics to help cleanse, calm, and balance. So this probiotic is safe for the skin every day. You can do it a few times a day. And what it does is it's preventing the stress from taking a toll on your skin. It's keeping it calm, balanced. Most importantly, it actually prevents cancer cells and radiation damage from entering the dermis. So you want to have something before you walk outside of Jenette Skincare. I recommend a toner and a serum for everybody who lives in a big city, but anybody who's spending time outside, you want extra protection. So the probiotics are going to give you that. And I've never had anybody allergic to these kinds of probiotics. They're very neutral and everybody can benefit from them. So let's go on to Be Clean Detoxifying Toner. This is one of my most antibacterial, anti-acne products that I have ever made. In just a mist, you're killing airborne pathogens, you're killing bacteria, you're stopping it in its tracks. So with this is very active, so you might feel a cooling sensation. It has just a touch of camphor that is very killing of bacteria and acts as an analgesic. So if you have a tough, stubborn, painful breakout, if you spray this on a pad and hold it, it's going to cool it, calm it, kill it, and prevent it from spreading. This is great for anybody who's oily, acneic, or just has any stubborn acne on their body. You know, a lot of times we'll get like breakouts on our back and we can't do anything about it. Well, guess what? You could spray this on your back and then you're killing bacteria. So I actually now use it as a mouth spray, throat spray. It kills all the germs and it tastes delicious. It's so good. Ever since I started doing this, it was an accident, a happy accident. I was hiking through the Tetons and I felt like I had a sore throat and I didn't have anything with me. I was in the middle of nowhere, but I had Be Clean toner and Be Clean elixir. And I just kept spraying this in my mouth. I was fine the next day, having not gotten sick once since then. I haven't been sick, like at all.
How long ago was that?
A year and 3 months ago. Woo! So anyways, these products are safe enough to ingest. Am I telling you to drink a bottle of Be Clean? No, but Be Clean is a great way to kill bacteria. And it really, in a facial room, or if you're working close to people doing their makeup, this can just instantly kill bacteria, but give you like this refreshing breath where you don't need to be chewing gum or having mint, and you're killing all the germs. So this, I will never leave home without. This is something I will say, if you're using acne products, anything with a percentage, AHA, BHAs, so any kind of glycolic, salicylic, retinoids, anything that has a percentage on the box, I would steer clear from using this toner on the same day. You'd probably be fine using it, on alternating days, but with anything of a percentage, I would be a little leery on. And the one other product also that falls in line with that is the Just Add Sugar Cacao Mask. I will get to this later. But if they are on acids, if you're using acids or retinol that's strong, or a retinoid from a doctor, you would not want to use this on the same day. You might want to wait 2 days, because the Chinese and Korean herbs in here are so antibacterial, and they work on a cellular, very deep level, and I would never want anybody to get burned. So we're going on to Be Divine Toner. So this is the third toner in my line. I will be coming out with 1 or 2 more in the next year. I'm super excited about. I'll talk about that at the end. So Be Divine is my only toner that is hydrating and trapping moisture in. If someone is depleted, dry, dull, this is going to transform their skin immediately. And probably after using it every day for a week, they will no longer have dryness. This has organic cold pressed rosehip seed oil in it. It acts as an omega fatty acid, which we talked about earlier, which is top on the list for fighting inflammation. So anybody who is red and depleted, they should go on the Be Divine. This has pure rose absolute. It has a cucumber witch hazel. All of the witch hazels are now brewed in-house and marinated for a month before they're poured into the toners. So this can act as a vitamin C and omega fatty acid. This is so healing. It also helps with anxiety and allows you to go through grieving processes a little more easily. This is a special gift for people. And I probably go through a bottle every 2 weeks. I'm obsessed. Sometimes I'll just use this as my body moisturizer. If I don't have time to hydrate, I'll just mist my body with it. And it's so hydrating, and it's really quick and fast in my cheater way.
Oh, the rosehip?
Ah, yes. And the rose is conditioning. Ah, so good. Okay, again, that has probiotics. So we're giving an awesome immune boost. And now headed into Be Clean Detoxifying Elixir. This was second product I ever developed. And this has a very special place in my heart. This is probably our #1 seller. It's a household must-have. Be Clean Detoxifying Elixir can literally be used 101 different ways. If you do not have it, if you have not tried it, you need to get on it, especially if you're living in a big city or you have any issues with respiratory, sinus. You can actually stick this up your nasal cavity. This has a eucalyptus lemon hybrid that is just beautiful. It has peppermint, rosemary, basil. It's so detoxifying, but the base of this, like I was talking earlier, is organic cold pressed grapeseed oil. So it's not clogging, it's not greasy. I'm going to tell you how I personally use it, and then if anybody else wants to share, because literally it has 101 different ways to use. I like this best as my first cleanse at night. This is my oil cleanse. When I have time to massage these precious oils into my skin, I use this. There is nothing that compares. I've tried probably 200 oil cleanses, there's no comparison. This is so cleansing, calming, cooling, and I just massage 3 to 5 drops on dry, dirty skin for 2 to 4 minutes. If I don't have the time, I'm not going to waste this precious oil. I want to have at least 2 minutes to really work it in. I'm really bad with doing gua sha. I know how healthy and healing it is, but I massage my face almost every night with this on dry, dirty skin. And what this does is it starts dissolving all the dirt, sunscreen, oil, anything that you're dealing with. It's going to just kind of pull it all out. And then I rinse my face very well. And then my obsession is my green tea superfood soap. And soap, facial soap is the way to go. We have probably 1 billion ton of cleansing packaging on this planet every year. You do not need pumps of facial soap, shampoo. Get on a bar, find a bar. If you want to be sustainable, you want to limit your packaging, get on a bar that works for your hair, your body, your face. It's ridiculous, the packaging. It's out of control. You can look it up. I just looked it up a month ago. It's scary. So my second cleanse is the green tea soap on my damp skin with a little bit of that Be Clean oil. And then I just take the soap and I massage it all over my face. And then I put it on a dry little glass container or like a little bamboo tray. And then I massage it. It suds up really nicely. I rinse. My skin is so clean. So that is my main way of using this. I also will put a couple drops of it into any moisturizer, either my Be Nourished or my Serenity. Whenever I feel like I just need a little extra healing, calming, or anti-inflammatory action, if I ever feel a pesky bump underneath the skin, you massage it in it for a day or two, it dissolves it. Or you do it right before you see your esthetician and it gets rid of it. You can also massage your ears, your feet, if you're feeling immune compromised. It's even safe for kids at 2 years old. I developed this for my son when he had severe allergies. Kids cannot be exposed to pure, straight essential oils. Absolutely not. It's not safe for them. They can be burned. This is a way that kids can get this. Anybody who is immune compromised or has sensitive skin, they can use this product. Trying to think if there's any, again, there's a million things you can do with it.
I mix it in with like all my moisturizers, or if like I'm going out and I'm gonna have sunscreen on, I'll do that because I know it's not gonna break me out with like that heavier sunscreen on top.
Did everybody get to experience this?
I have it, but I always thought it was more for like, you know, the breakout.
It absolutely can be for a breakout.
If you wear makeup, you wash it, like you put that on as an oil cleanse and then makeup on.
Yeah.
If you wear mascara,
it's okay. No. Tabitha, who's here with us, she told me she removes her makeup. She's on Zoom. She lives in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
But I was just visiting with her a couple weeks ago in Oregon, and she was like, oh yeah, I get rid of all my makeup with it. I would probably mix it with a little bit of my other oil for the eyes or a little water. Like I would dampen a little cloth, you know, with water and then put a drop. But this also can remove makeup and it doesn't burn the eyes. So moving on, we good? Okay, so we're on to Be Calm. This is what I believe is one of my top few most anti-inflammatory products. Be Calm Brightening C Serum. This is a must-have for anybody suffering from redness, hyperpigmentation, or you want to prevent redness and prevent hyperpigmentation from spreading. If you have any funky patches of red, brown spots, this is going to help prevent it from spreading. It's going to start breaking it up and healing it. This has a very special oil-soluble medical grade vitamin C. I don't want to use acid. I don't want to use an acetate. I want oil soluble. again, going back to the cold press oils, those are the most healing ways to get calming, anti-inflammatory, and prevent the aging process from happening. You don't want to wrinkle, you want to use cold press oils, you want to use oil soluble. It's fine to get an acid once in a while, but every day you're going to strip and rob and break down the barrier of your skin. So oil soluble vitamin C actually penetrates, it's a larger molecular structure than an acid. So you imagine your acids are tiny, like a glycolic acid, a sugar acid is so tiny and it works so efficiently and so quickly. Okay, and then you have lactic acid, which is a larger molecular structure, and that penetrates a little slower. So you're getting a little bit more healing, calming, hydration, and brightening. Okay, so then you have your larger oil soluble vitamin C. It goes even slower into the dermis. And while it's going slower, science, this is all backed by science, you're getting a resurgence of elastin and collagen. So the slower the moleculars go into your skin, the more plumping and firming you get. The faster they go, you're going to see and feel quicker results, but it doesn't mean you're going to get long-term results. And that's what people don't understand when they're going and getting crazy things like acid peels all the time or lasers. We don't know long-term what that is doing. It could be damaging us at a fourth subcutaneous layer, and then your aging shows up later. Your hyperpigmentation shows up later. 5 years later, 10 years later. You know those sunburns that you got between the ages of 7 and 15? That damage shows up in your mid to late 20s or 30s. So imagine if you're getting a sunburn in your 30s, what's going to happen when you're in your 50s? Highly recommend, if you've been getting sunburns in your life, live on Be Calm and get an LED machine, or come into being in LA or a spa that has an LED machine to fight that damage. Because let me tell you, it's not fun getting hypopigmentation. Once you have hypopigmentation, there's nothing you can do. And if you find a solution, please let me know, because I have some from overexposure to sun. They're tiny, but they can spread more. And Bootsy, you know about this with me. It's no joke. Once you have the dead cell, what can you do? Protect, protect, protect. Get on a zinc sunscreen. I don't make sunscreen because I don't have a lab to make sunscreen, but I do recommend being on a 5 to 20% zinc every day. Some kind of clean line. I mean, I do love Epicurin. I love Jane Iredale. Those are probably the cleanest. Suntegrity is nice. So get on a zinc sunscreen every day before you're leaving your house. So the other special ingredient, sorry, I'm going on a tangent with Be Calm, but I cannot tell you how many people's skin has been healed from this product. This product flies off our shelves. We cannot keep it on the shelves, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's the one I make the most often.
This is the one we are making every week. It flies off. So you're never getting older than a 2-week batch, ever, ever, ever. So it's so fresh. The special note behind this is sandalwood. So it's very grounding. So even men and younger kids, they like this because it's neutral. It's not overpowering at all. It doesn't linger. And sandalwood is top on the list for preventing pigmentation from spreading. The other special note in this is pomegranate seed oil. It's so precious. It's so rich. And again, it has the omega fatty acids, top on the list for fighting inflammation. And why are we fighting inflammation? Because we want to have beautiful, healthy skin for the rest of our lives. Okay, on to Transform. Transform is definitely a very important product for people who need to flush out toxins every day. This has niacin. This is the active ingredient. If you want to try it around your nose, if anywhere you have large pores, put it in that area. If you don't have large pores, if you have pigmentation, this also helps with pigmentation. So this has a healthy and safe percentage of niacin in it that you can get every day. I don't think you need this product twice a day. If you're really sensitive, you could even get it every other day, but this is going to keep stress off your skin. So if you feel like you're in a stressful situation, a stressful time in your life, you just have a stressful job, if you're overheating, this is the product for you. So if I'm wearing my mask all day or on an airplane, I wear this first and foremost on clean skin, and then I'll put my other products over. Otherwise, if that's not the case, I'm using Be Calm every day. But the Transform Niacin Serum is a serum on steroids. The base of this is sea kelp, so it keeps the skin calmer, cooler every time you wear it. So if you know you're going to overheat, you should absolutely be wearing Transform. If you're going to be wearing your mask and you don't want the damage from your mask to take a toll, wear Transform. Transform should always be touching your face first on clean skin if you want the results. If you want the results of vitamin C, you always want the vitamin C to touch your face first. So you would never be layering niacin and vitamin C. You don't need to do that. So you want to choose one in the morning, one at night, or you go on one for a month or two, and then you go on the other one. Talking about retinol, I don't make retinol because it can over time make you very sensitive to sun, and it can break down the tissue. I think retinol can be well used and safe in the right form. There are very few healthy formulas out there, but if you are using retinol, that should be a treatment. That should touch your face first. So that's really important. I get a lot of questions about, well, when do I use the retinol? When do I use vitamin C? When do I use niacin? It's a very good question, and we should actually probably write a blog about it, right?
Yeah.
It gets so confusing.
Figure out what, you don't want to double up.
Right, because you're going to waste your product. So if you are wanting to have a treatment, if you're trying to repair damage, if you're trying to repair hyperpigmentation, okay, you would put on just your vitamin C and then your moisturizer over. If you're wanting to shrink your pores, you'd put a niacin serum on first, then put your moisturizer. If you want your retinol, because retinol can do a lot of great things. It can exfoliate, it can brighten, it can repair damage. That's your treatment. So you'd put that on first. Like we have an image oil that I do like. This is the only retinol I have ever experienced that is clean. It's a medical grade oil. It's called Restoring Retinol Booster. I use this once a week. I don't know if you guys can see that. But it's an oil that is free of toxins. And I actually put it on underneath my chocolate mask or my magic matcha to get better results. In the winter, I'll sleep with this on once a week under my Be Nourished. I don't use retinol more than once a week. And I know people are obsessed with retinol. I spend too much time outside. I don't want to hurt my skin or make it sun sensitive. So I have to be careful. So if you are using retinol, make sure you know how you're using it. So Transform also has some special ingredients. It has jasmine, it has green tea, calendula, again, superfoods, antioxidants, all the things that are healing and anti-inflammatory, preventing the aging process from happening. Any questions? Okay.
Image oil.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that in the treatment room?
If they're not too sensitive. Sarah asked, do I ever use the retinol oil under the mask in the facial treatment room? If they're not too sensitive, absolutely. If I know their skin, absolutely. But if it's their first time, I would just do the magic matcha mask without the retinol. And then next time, try the chocolate mask. And then if they're good with that and you want to take it up, oh yeah, then you could do the retinol. Yeah. If they're not sensitive, they're probably going to be fine. You just have to be careful not to have a lot of sun and light 3 days after, especially if you're using this at home at night. You should not be exposed to the sun the next day. because you're going to hyperpigment. That's exactly the opposite of what we want to do. Okay, so we are moving on to the luxury face and body oil, Divine Balance. This is magic in a bottle. It has vetiver, black pepper. It has every oil that I'm obsessed with. It's rich, it's heavy. If you want to just apply it on your neck to just give it a chance, it's really lovely. I use it as my perfume. I mix this into other moisturizers for more anti-aging. The magic behind this is a wrinkle defense peptide that does not have any glycols attached to it or chemicals. It's a wrinkle defense peptide that prevents wrinkles from setting in. It tightens and firms, but it's in an oil, so it's also very hydrating. And it's hormonally balancing and grounding. The black pepper and vetiver are so lovely in here. It's just, oh, and it has a little cinnamon, just a hint of cinnamon to give it a little more activity. We're really picking up on the cinnamon right now, right?
Yeah, I know it's changed.
This batch, yeah. It kind of ages well. And, you know, sometimes we pick up on the black pepper, sometimes it's vetiver. Right now it's like cinnamon, I feel like it's a little more spicy.
But a week ago it was geranium.
Yeah, last week geranium, now we're picking up on cinnamon. So this is a fun one that ages wonderfully over time. You know, it's something that you can have sitting around for a year and it's still beautiful. I personally try to keep this on my neck, under my eyes, and above my lip. Those are the aging areas. And if I do this every day, at least once a day, I do notice a huge difference. I'm not looking very tired if I keep this going. I'm just refreshed, keeping everything alive. So that can be for the face and the body. It's delicious, wonderful, beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to go into some very special potions. I'm obsessed with potions. I have not lived without potion number 2 for 8 years. It's partly why my skin, I think, has been saved by the toxicity from outside. So we have potion number 1 and number 2. They are both 75% probiotic from a radish root fermentation process. Let's talk about number 1 first.
Great.
So we'll dissect number 1. This is to instantly heal the skin and prevent the pollution from taking a toll. If you're going to be overheating and sweating a lot and you have large pores, this is the product for you. It's going to tighten the pores. It has the cucumber witch hazel in it that we brew here. It instantly is going to shrink the pores, protect your skin. And if you let it sit for about 2 minutes, that is key. 2 to 3 minutes, you let it sit and it lifts. Like your skin, Zoe, it already just shifted from you putting it on. And I'm not lying. Did you notice her cheek?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of crazy. So this is great to hide those pores. It has pink grapefruit, so it's cooling, calming. This is so good for sensitive skin. I promise you, if you use this every day, you will not experience crazy breakouts. Okay, so we're going into potion number 2, my personal favorite serum of all time. Will not leave the house without it. So this is just like taking it up a notch. If you are more dry, aging, dull, number 2 is the way to go because it has the organic cold pressed rosehip seed oil that's in Be Divine. So you're getting more action of plumping, firming, hydrating. It has the omega fatty acids, acts as vitamin C. So this also has that pure rose, and it also has some cucumber witch hazel. So it's keeping the pores small, but it's also trapping moisture, protecting from the elements outside, and it gives this little extra lifting and tightening action. So my favorite thing to do, if I want to look and feel my very best, is I wear Be Calm, and then I put potion number 2 on, and then I put moisturizer on. That's my morning jam. That's what I love. And that's when I think my skin looks and feels its best and it stays very balanced. Now, if I'm going to be sweating and super oily, maybe I would do number 1. If I knew I was going to be like hiking, working out, I would just maybe do number 1 over Be Calm. Or if I'm in a hurry and I know I'm going to go to hot yoga or go on a crazy hot hike, I just rinse my face or mist it with Be Happy, put potion 1 on and my sunblock, and I go.
So you're not going to mix potion 1 and 2. There's no need.
I have some clients that are obsessed with the potions. They've changed their life and skin. They wear number 1 in the morning and number 2 at night. A lot of my clients go back and forth depending on the season. I just feel like if you are sensitive and oily, you need to stick with number 1. Once your skin is not sensitive and oily, then you can go to number 2. But I do think that the plumping and lifting action of number 2 is pretty magical. So I love when people can graduate to that product.
I just got potion 2 after being on potion 1 for like a year.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'll never be dry.
Leveling up. We'll see how it goes. But I love
if you're sweating, go to number 1.
Yes. Also, like I tend to break out a little bit more. It's like less so after using your line so much, but I use Transform and potion 1 every month. That's also
I think we're going to do a special deal with the potions for my state too. So can you tell me again the potion 2 just to refresh me on the ingredients?
Yeah, so I'm just following through the line here, and Robin is here. She's asking for me to just kind of go over number 2 a little bit more. So anybody who is dry, dull, dehydrated, and just needs an awesome pick-me-up, as long as they're not having crazy oiliness and breakouts, they can absolutely use number 2. But for more sensitive skin, I'm always nervous when people have sensitive skin. It's like we have to figure out, is there sensitive skin from environment, from food, from genetic makeup, from some stress? There could be an underlying condition there. I always feel safer when someone is sensitive or breaking out just to go with number 1. Until their skin is healthier, then they can go to number 2. But most people over 30 could do number 1 and 2. But number 1 is that pink grapefruit, which is really good for sensitive skin. And some people are just so obsessed with the smell of it that it's like, ah, and I really like it. But when I smell number 2, I'm like, ah. So then I'm like, I must need that, right? Our olfactory system doesn't deny what we need. So we're going to move on to Serenity. So this was one of the most challenging products I think I ever made. And it took me a long time to perfect this. It took probably over a year to perfect this product. I wanted to create a product that everybody could use. Those people who say, I can't use moisturizer. I hate moisturizer. I hate the way moisturizer feels. I can't stand it. I wanted them to get the benefits of a moisturizer without feeling heavy, without feeling like there's all this hydration happening. You're getting hydration with this, but there's a secret ingredient in this Polulan that came at the very end that prevents fungus and bacteria from spreading. So even people who are on Accutane, who break out, this is safe for them. It's so cooling. It's so calming. It has carrot seed. It has calendula. It has so many wonderful things. Sandalwood. The sandalwood is lovely in here, but you don't pick up on that so much. You pick up more, I think, on the calendula.
Yeah.
Oh, cucumber. The cucumber is just heavenly. So anybody who loves cucumber and anything cooling, it just kind of feels like a heavy hydrating serum. It is lovely, beautiful. It's not occlusive, so it's not going to be trapping moisture in like the slugging that was going on years ago. Be Nourished is going to be trapping moisture in and is definitely going to feel heavy and keep your glow all day. But now Serenity can be used in the morning and Be Nourished can be used at night. And if you want to take your moisturizers to the next level and have more healing, take 1 or 2 drops of Be Clean detoxifying oil into 2 pumps of Serenity Magic, Magic, Magic. If you want to take your Be Nourished to the next level and make it more antibacterial, more healing for redness, bumpiness, just pump, let's see, 2 drops of Be Clean oil into a dime size of Be Nourished. And that is heavenly, great for day or night if it's more fall and winter. Right now, because it's so hot, we're encouraging everybody to use Serenity in the morning because it's so calming and anti-inflammatory. And then we recommend Be Nourished with a couple drops of Be Clean oil at night. Okay. The Serenity also has green tea extract, which fights free radical damage. But your skin will love Serenity right now. Okay, so we're going to move on to Be Nourished. So again, just talked a little bit about Be Nourished. This is heavy, it's occlusive. This is trapping moisture in. You will never be dry if you use Be Nourished. If you just want one product at night, this can do it all. It's brightening. It has the oil soluble medical grade vitamin C. It doesn't have the same percentage as Be Calm, but you are still getting a little bit of that vitamin C. This has shea butter. The magic behind this is a sunflower phospholipid. Phospholipid, this is, we should be drinking phospholipids. It takes all the bad fat out of you, but it prevents any kind of structural tissue, connective tissue damage under the cells. So if you're using Be Nourished every night, you're not aging the same way. You really want something like that. And going back to Sarah's question about glycols, they're feeling like this deliciousness, right? Because it's emulsifying. But we don't use glycols. We use healing, healthy phospholipids. But glycols aren't anti-aging. They just trick you into thinking that it's anti-aging. So the phospholipid in here is magic. And this is not an easy product to make. This has to be temperature controlled, just like the soaps. There's so much love and time and patience that go into making every product. They really, Abigail's doing wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so another top favorite product, and I feel like my skin would not feel and look this way. I've been using this for almost 12 years. Just add sugar. This is your miracle mask. If you don't want to have activity on your face, I would just try it on your hand. This literally is your mini facial in a jar. If you use it once a week, you are going to detox your skin. The first few minutes you're detoxing, the next few minutes you're giving yourself an awesome immune boost. And then if you're leaving it on 20 minutes, you're getting a little non-surgical facelift. You can't talk. It tightens everything. It's so amazing. So the magic in this are the Chinese and Korean herbs. The Chinese and Korean herbs are so detoxifying. They shrink your pores, they flush out everything that's not serving your skin. And if you love cacao, well, you're gonna love the smell of it. It just is like intoxicating. So if you are on actives, anything with a percentage, do not use this on the same day, probably wait a day or two. It can possibly burn your skin or make it too sensitive. This also acts as a vitamin C treatment because of the cacao and the Chinese and Korean herbs. This is my special proprietary blend. It took me 3 years to perfect these herbs. No joke, these herbs are transformational. You don't need acids when you have these herbs. So this can also be your scrub once a week. If you want a quick detox, you could just scrub your skin with this. And or if you wanted to make the Be Renewed even extra active, my CSAN scrub, you could mix a dime size of each and have this exfoliate your skin and brighten it in minutes. So just add sugar, super age defying. If you're very sensitive, I'm going to lean towards the Magic Matcha Mask, which that is next. This is a superfood smoothie for your skin. Literally everything in here you could drink in a smoothie. It is so nutrient rich. It's so calming and anti-inflammatory. So this is a way for people to get the Chinese and Korean herbs at a more mellow level. You're still flushing out toxins. You're still brightening and healing the skin. It's just, it's not penetrating as deeply and it's not as active. So I'd say if you are sensitive, if you are red, start with Magic Matcha, then graduate to the Just Add Sugar. You can also mix the two of them together. I have a couple clients who have been obsessed with both of them, and they have taught me, I love when I'm learning from my clients, they've taught me to massage the Magic Matcha onto pigmentation spots or red sensitive spots, and then put a layer of the chocolate mask over. And the few clients that told me this, Martha,
Oh yeah,
they have the best skin. Their skin is amazing. So I am trying to do that once in a while. So you can kind of mix them. And again, the Be Renewed Sea Sand Scrub, which we'll get into a little bit more, you can mix this into either mask and just have a gentle brightening detox. If you mix a little Magic Matcha with Be Renewed, it's very gentle, brightening, hydrating, even after a day in the sun. If you are breaking out and you really want to shrink your pores and you know you're not going to be out in the sun the next day, you could mix the Sea Sand Scrub with a little chocolate mask. You're really going to feel it, and you could be red for up to an hour. Okay, so the masking, just real quick, you really want to be masking once a week to take off the damage from the week. If you do that, your products are working more efficiently. If you have a bunch of dead, dull cells on your skin, there's no point in using your amazing, expensive products. Save them until you have time to really, truly do a double cleanse, exfoliate, mask. We recommend getting a facial every month. I mean, at least once a month, at least we're detoxing with steam, we're cleaning you out, and your products will always work. But if you're doing your mask at home once a week, your products are going to work, especially if you're using the chocolate mask and or the Magic Matcha mask. I can't say all masks are created equal. They absolutely are not. I just wrote something about this, I think a week ago. You know, clay masks, you have to be careful because they draw out impurities, but they can dry you out. So you better make sure you're slathering hyaluronic acid and a good moisturizer after a clay mask. Sheet masks, I'm not a huge fan of because usually they're full of chemicals, you know, and they can actually cause more long-term damage. You want to read the first 5 ingredients. If the first 5 ingredients, you're kind of like, what the heck is this? Look it up. It probably means you shouldn't be using it. Hydrating masks, you want to make sure you need hydration. If you don't need extra hydration, you probably don't want to use a hydrating mask. These masks, Just Add Sugar and Magic Matcha, these are balanced for all skin types. They're flushing out toxins, but they bring full circle healing. The base of these are cold pressed coconut and grapeseed oils. You're never going to be dry after using these. You might be a little stimulated. You might be a little red. You might feel a little like, whoo, what just happened? Well, you just gave yourself a mini facial. Okay, so did everybody get a little Magic Matcha?
That's what I was
Oh, they can just smell it.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're smelling Magic Matcha. I mean, it's quite lovely. It smells like a smoothie. And it makes me want to eat it. And sometimes I'm like, maybe I should just try putting it in my smoothie in the morning. And maybe I'll be like feeling extra good. That's an expensive smoothie.
Okay.
Maybe we do a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Recommended for your smoothie, teaspoon. Okay, so now let's go into the Just Add Sugar house soap.
Yes.
Do you, oh, you have a tester? Okay, so the Just Add Sugar Cacao Soap. So I have a beautiful, amazing celebrity makeup artist who is obsessed with Just Add Sugar. She asked, can I use this every day? And this was years ago. And I said, well, I think every day is a little too much. And she's like, but I love it. I want it every day. Can't you make something that could do something like that every day? Okay, so that's how Just Add Sugar was birthed. Another very challenging product to perfect. It took a year and my sister's help because soap is no joke. Everything is temperature controlled. We saponify these in the lab for 3 weeks before they are boxed. So they take hours to make, 3 weeks to saponify and harden. This is a little Just Add Sugar Miracle Soap Bar. If you are breaking out, if you have any pesky bumps, melia, really enlarged pores in the chin or the nose or hormonal breakouts, you rinse your face really good, you massage it onto the breakout, the enlarged pores, you put it down, don't get it in your eyes. The Chinese and Korean herbs could burn your eyes. And then you mix, you mix it in, you massage it, it suds up so nicely. You're so clean. I'm telling you, this cuts through makeup. If you want to clean your makeup brushes really fast, this cleans your makeup brushes in 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. It's amazing. You dampen your makeup brush, you massage it a little bit on the soap, and it gets all the makeup out. So this, if you are having to wear makeup and sunscreen, this will get rid of it in a minute on your face. It's incredible. So anybody who's oily, breaking out, or has to wear makeup and a lot of sunscreen, this is the soap for you. I only use this on the days that I'm sweating a lot. So when I go to hot yoga and I have a crazy hike, I'll use this after that. Otherwise, I'm more dry and pigmentation issues. I have to use green tea soap. And we're going to go into the green tea soap. Anybody have questions about this? Yeah.
So I heard from a client that facial blurring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so those bumps. Oh, we didn't turn down the phone. Should I'm gonna take the other. So any kind of bumps that you have, you know, those crazy bumps we get like behind our bum or the back of our legs or the back of our arms. A lot of times that's from eating dairy and gluten, but this can eat away at it very nicely. Okay, so going into the green tea soap. Green tea soap, superfood, all superfoods. The base of this is a little bit different. This has the cold pressed oils that the chocolate soap has. It has the coconut and the grapeseed oil. But what's the magic in this base? Organic coconut milk. So this is so nourishing, calming, hydrating. For anybody who has more sensitive, dry, dull skin, they have to be on the superfood green tea soap. And the smell, there's hardly any smell, but it's just enough that it's so amazing. It's like, I have to use this every day. I have to, or my skin does not look or feel as good. So we're dissolving impurities, we're soothing and hydrating the skin, and we are feeding the skin's tissue. With magic matcha and green tea soap, you're feeding the skin's tissue. You're just feeding it superfoods. Literally, you're just like, here, skin, I love you. And then if you're sleeping with Be Nourished on, I mean, even if you just had like those 3 products, you're gonna see and feel a significant shift. Of course, if you're more oily, breaking out, you have to use the chocolate soap. This one's going to eat a little bit deeper on impurities. But with the chocolate soap and mask, if you're on acne products, anything with a percentage, you have to be careful not to use these on the same days. The whole idea behind my acne kit, which is the Just Add Sugar mask and soap and the Be Clean toner and elixir, is we're trying to get people off of their acne products. We don't want people to be living on benzoyl peroxide. I mean, Proactive made its claim to fame with benzoyl peroxide, but then everybody's so stripped and robbed. I'm now treating people who are on those products because they have severe hyperpigmentation, because benzoyl peroxide and all those acids are stripping and robbing and making you burn when you go outside. You don't have your protective microbiome that should be there as a defense. So you're just literally killing your cells and aging rapidly. And the poor kids that start on this when they're 12, 13, 14, I mean, it's really hard. So the acne kit is really great for teens to start, you know, at 12, 13 years old, because it will prevent them from having to go on the acne products that are so toxic. Okay, so any questions about the green tea soap? Everybody can use this starting at 8 years old. Okay, so Be Renewed. This is top on the list for anti-inflammatory skin. This is for all of those people that say, I can't exfoliate, my skin's too sensitive, or nothing works, nothing is really that great out there, I don't need a scrub, it's not doing anything. I promise with this one it will. The base of this is zinc, magnesium, again, top on the list of what we talked about at the beginning for preventing the inflammation from taking a toll and damaging our cells. Exfoliating is no joke. If you're exfoliating with acids every day, you're stripping and robbing. But if you're exfoliating with superfood nutrients like this, you're doing it gently and in a long-term healthy healing kind of way. So this has zinc, magnesium. It has, my favorite thing in this is an organic cold pressed pumpkin seed oil, which is full of omega fatty acids. Pumpkin seeds are so good for you. If you're not eating them, eat them. They're so good for your digestion. They're so good for your skin. Pumpkin seeds, top on the list for the skin. And they won't hurt you because, you know, if you eat a handful of almonds or cashews, it could really take a toll on your digestive tract. You have to be careful. It could really like feed you with all this excess oil and not be so great for you. So pumpkin seeds, I say, are so good. Get on the seeds. Try to limit the nuts. Get on the seeds. So this also has fresh ground lavender and rosemary from my garden, my friend's garden. This is so beautiful. I have people that ask, can I make a candle that smells like this? Because it smells so good. It has a touch of cinnamon to give it some activity, but then we fresh grind this sea sand. It's a very proprietary blend, secret sand that is magic. It's in here and it gently exfoliates. You can use this 2 or 3 times a week. And even after a day at the beach, you can use this and it's going to calm, heal redness, prevent the damage and the buildup from the sun and the pool or now the toxic ocean. This is going to help to heal it instantly. If you want to activate it, if you're red and sensitive, activate it with magic matcha. If you are more oily, acneic, and not sensitive and not using crazy acids, you can activate it with the chocolate mask. I personally, this is my go-to. If my skin is dull and not looking good, I take a nickel size of the scrub and a dime to nickel size of the mask. I mix it, I put it on my face. 5 to 10 minutes later, my skin is like brand new. That is awesome, awesome formula, those two together. The Chinese and Korean herbs and the cacao with the Be Renewed, it's like nothing else I've ever seen. I can transform someone's skin in the facial room in 5 minutes with that combination. So if you are in a treatment room, I highly recommend, you have to have the masks, you have to have the scrubs, Be Clean Elixir and the toners, hands down. Okay, so how are we doing on time?
It is 4:15.
Oh, great. Okay. I did this faster than I thought. Okay, great. Should I talk about why we're keeping everything in glass? So let's just touch on that. You know, I am a firm believer in living a plastic-free life. I do not like plastic. We are already ingesting like a credit card a week of plastic. It's pretty sick. It's in all of our food. It's in your tea bags. If you're using tea, if you can hand me that Get Up and Glow, I would love that. Thank you so much. If you are using tea, you need to get on loose leaf tea. This is tea for Tabitha. We're serving Get Up and Glow today. Highly recommend you guys have some. It's so delicious. If you could pour me some, I would love it. This is just a little bit of caffeine, not enough to make you jittery. Tea for Tabitha. She is a dear friend of mine. She launched her tea company years ago because of her love and affection for tea. And she is a makeup artist in the Pacific Northwest. She lives in Hood River. She developed this tea line for the health of the skin. So she has 4 teas. She's going to be launching a 5th one. But she's taught us a lot about tea and how if you're getting it in a bag, it usually is a bag that has microplastics. And then when you pour hot water in your bag of tea, you're drinking the microplastics. So get on loose leaf tea, please. It's the only way we can guarantee that it is pure and you're not drinking the microplastic. I do trust her blends and her research. Again, this is what we're serving today. It's not enough to make you jittery. This one has green tea, nettles, red clover, peppermint, hibiscus, burdock, and cardamom. It's delicious, hot and cold. I actually really like this one cold. And 1 tablespoon gives you probably like 8 to 12 ounces. So you could just sip on it all day long. Delicious. Thank you, Tabitha. I hope she's still here with us. Yes, she is. Okay, I'm going to unmute them all in a minute. So anyway, she has 3 other ones that do not have caffeine, but they are for the health and well-being of the skin. So going back to saying no to plastic, we have a refill station here at Being in LA for the toners and the elixir. One day we hope we could have refills for everything. It's just, we have to be sanitary. We have to follow all the rules. But we're starting to have larger jars. We're starting to carry large of all the toners. You can even special order large of the mask. If you are working in a facial room or you're using a lot of these products, you can just reach out to info@Jenette Skincare and we can create usually a larger batch and jar of everything. We want to be able to support everybody's needs and where they're at. Some of my clients, they're obsessed with Be Nourished. They're requesting a 4-ounce jar. Why not? Because then you have it for a full year. You don't have to go through 2 or 3 smaller jars. So just know that that is available. The glass is protecting it by about 12 degrees. So you know, none of these products should heat over 75 degrees, but now because the glass is so protective, yeah, we could probably say 87 degrees. So obviously you're not going to leave it in a hot car. You're not going to leave it in the sun. None of these products should be, you know, overexposed to heat and light. We want to protect the probiotic. The probiotic is almost in all the product and it helps it stabilize and live longer and be more healing. Anything else I'm missing? I feel like we did a lot. Any specific questions? Should we unmute them?
I do have a question.
Okay.
You just answered my storage question because it's so hot and our house gets over 75, maybe up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to know. Everything should be refrigerated if it's over.
If it's over 87 degrees, you probably want to refrigerate it.
Oh, got it. And then the other thing is the application. And I'm sure there's 100 different ways to do it depending on your skin and what you're using, but like cleansing and moisturizing, how much time should I be spending? Because I feel like you talked about it a little bit,
Okay.
but I'm like, I don't think I'm spending enough time.
Okay. Zoe is asking a really good question. She's asking how much time should she be spending on her program? And really, when I was in my 20s, I probably spent 2 minutes. In my 30s, I probably spent 3 minutes. Now I'm in my 40s, I'm spending probably 5 minutes. So I would just try to figure out what are your skin's needs. So like you, Zoe has really nice skin. You've been on the line for a while. So you've kept nice balance. So it depends on like, what do you want to work towards? Like, what are your biggest things? For me, my biggest thing is I don't want the wrinkles to set in. I always joke, like, I don't want to have to get a facelift. Like, that's my goal. Okay. I don't want a facelift. I want my products to do their work, and I don't want to have to go under a knife. I want to age gracefully. I know I'm wrinkling, but I can wrinkle beautifully, you know? So, and slowly, right? Slowly. So for me, I have to layer. And what I mean by layering, after I'm cleansing and toning, so if I'm just in a hurry, I'll just do a quick cleanse with chocolate or green tea. I'll mist my face with one of my toners. I'll put Be Calm on, put potion number 2 on, but I'm letting Be Calm sit on for a minute. I'm letting it kind of just sit, soak in. Then I'll put potion number 2 on. I let this sit. Hopefully I have the time to sit for 2 to 4 minutes. I'll go make my tea, or I'll brush my teeth. You know, I buy the time to let my product sit, because that's where I've noticed I can prevent the aging and the dropping from happening by the layering, because I'm letting each product do its magic. Then I'll put, right now I'm using Serenity in the morning, and then I'll put my sunscreen on. So for me, it's about the layering, which takes a little bit more time. If you're just like, oh, my skin's really healthy, I just want to keep it balanced. Okay, you could probably just put a couple drops of Be Clean oil in to be nourished at night, and that could be your treatment.
Like, how much time would I spend like
Cleansing?
putting the
Massaging it on? Okay. So the more you're massaging,
yeah.
the more healing you're going to get. That's why I said, if I don't have a few minutes for Be Clean oil, I'm not wasting this. I want to make sure I have a few minutes. So to be honest, I'm probably only doing this 3 or 4 times a week.
So if you can spend the time.
If you have the time, spend it. Massaging and working it in, especially your moisturizer or a serum or an oil, you know. But these are easy because you can just mist, you know. Okay, do you want to unmute them? Sure. We're going to unmute you guys, and if you want to say hello. Can I proceed the treatments? We are unmuting. Let's see. Unmute over there. Okay, you guys, just unmute yourself, and I think you're okay. You can ask any questions. Hello? Bootsy, you're the only one I see. I don't hear her.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. Hi. Hi, Teddy. Hi. Yeah. Let us see your good.
There's my.
They're being silly.
I'm at work. I apologize.
Oh,
But
well, I'm so happy you're joining us.
okay. Thank you. I'll be there. One question is, so you said that the treatments like the vitamin C and the niacin should be put directly on skin. Can we proceed it with the toners? Like, how would we incorporate then a toner in that regimen if you're doing the treatments?
Very, very good question. So anytime after you're done cleansing your skin, you always want to mist the appropriate toner. So just misting it is going to allow your products to penetrate deeper, better, more efficiently, and you don't really have to use as much product when you're misting. And then another trick is if you're carrying around one of my toners, since they're all infused with probiotic and all of the serums have some kind of healing probiotic or anti-inflammatory. When you're misting this throughout the day, you're reactivating the serum to even work again. So you're keeping that glow. So that's a really, you know why Claire's skin looks so good. She's obsessed. She's obsessed. The people that are misting their faces all day long, they are not aging the same way. They just aren't. So you could just carry one of these around, especially if you're at work, what you're doing, it looks pretty intense. You could just, every time you take off your mask, mist your face, and you're helping repair and feed. And the aromatherapy in this is just, it's heavenly.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Jenette, what would you say your hero product is?
Ooh. For me or for the world?
Both.
Oh, that's so hard. One, why do you have to ask me a trick question? I don't know. I think it has to be one of the masks. You have to get on one of the masks. So I have to choose two. Because if you don't have a mask, it's because you haven't tried one of these. My skin has not aged the same way because I'm using one of these every week. And now I try to do magic matcha every 4 days. And now I do chocolate mask every 4 days. And it repairs the damage. And you guys know, I spend a lot of time outside. I swim, I hike. I just jumped into Crater Lake, and Tabitha got to see me jump into Crater Lake with my daughter. I like to rollerblade, and I'm not a crazy person always wearing long sleeve. Yes, I reapply sunblock, but I think that this has counterbalanced the damage a lot. And I can't get a facial every week, even though I own a spa and I have amazing estheticians. Sometimes I don't have time to get the facial. So this has been my facial. So, and the Chinese and Korean herbs in here are very special and very unique. And I've never found anything else like this in the world. So I have to say the masks.
The masks, like, I had never had such like blood flow before using these masks, and these create like a, you know, when you take them off, like, oh, I'm so red, but it's like from here, it's like that is healthy.
Yes.
And that helps heal.
Yeah, it's not burning you.
No.
It's flushing out toxins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
What's your hero product of Jenette Skincare?
You would ask me that.
Well, you've been on my line since the beginning.
I have been, and I've tried everything, and I love everything, and I use everything. And I guess if I had to pick, it would be the Be Clean toner, because I use it constantly for so many things. I like to use the toner and the oil together to take off makeup as like a pre-cleanse. So I'll put a little bit of oil and then spritz a little bit of the toner, and then that's my pre-cleanse. I also like to, well, I have started spraying it in my mouth like you told me to, and that has been really great. It also, if you're like camping, I just went on a backpacking trip this weekend. It's like the perfect, you know, overnight non-shower shower. So it comes in handy a lot for that. And then I wear a lot of hats in the summertime. I live in the Pacific Northwest. And so Jenette taught me that spraying it along the hat band will help prevent breakouts at the hairline. So, I mean, it's just like, it's good for so many things.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I do forget all the tricks. And for you, Tabby, I think you don't ever have a breakout anymore now that you've been using Be Clean.
No, it's super rare. And if I have it, it's because I ate something I wasn't supposed to.
Okay, Bootsy, do you have a star product? Because Bootsy, I think you've been on the line for 10 years.
Yes, I have been. I mean, I'm really into Be Nourished right now because I'm moving more into the neck and my arms, and like I've been healing my face for so long. So, and I have been doing my my neck. My chest is okay, but I feel like my arms. So I've been using products now on my forearms. So I've been using a lot of this plus, the Be Calm. But my all-time favorite is Be Clean. I'm so obsessed. If I'm going to take anything with me everywhere, it's this. It makes me happy. I smell it. It's like a meditation in 1 second. So, yeah, but I've been better at using Be Happy all the time. So, I have some Be Happy with me up here, in Washington right now. So I've been using that a lot too.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else want to share? Any other questions?
That was good.
I think that, yeah, well, hopefully we can use this recording for people who weren't able to join, or, potential new accounts, or people who want to collaborate or do a live IG. We can send this to them a little bit, share some behind the scenes. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jenette.
Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
Oh, do you guys want me to talk about my new products?
Oh, yes. Please.
Okay.
Here.
Well, I'm not launching.
Oh, just kidding.
That's just for me,
So,
We can't. Okay, so I have been investigating and doing a deep dive for about 6 to 8 months now on how we can get away from hyaluronic acid and have something better, because hyaluronic acid usually is coming from roosters. Hate to tell you that, but it is. So we want to be, on our game with sustainability and saving our planet and not be using animal products. I mean, I know sometimes we might have to ingest them, but do we have to put them on our face and our body?
Isn't there vegan?
There is, but it doesn't compare. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't hold the same kind of weight. So snow mushrooms, it holds 100 times the molecular weight of hyaluronic acid. So we are going to be relaunching Be Nourished with snow mushrooms in November, I think. So now, not only does, the one thing I didn't talk about Be Nourished, so it has the phospholipids and the vitamin C, it also has anti-aging peptides, and it's going to have snow mushrooms. So talk about like the creme de la creme of moisturizers. That's what Be Nourished is going to be. Bootsy's like this. Okay, so really you can have one healing moisturizer that has everything you need. So hopefully November, worst case scenario, December, but we want it for the winter months. So that's going to be happening. But what I'm really excited about, and I'm still working on, is I'm going to be creating, and I am developing, it's in the works, a snow mushroom serum. It's going to be a snow mushroom elixir for everybody. That is what I'm super excited about. I also just have decided, and my team is letting me launch Magic in a bottle. It's called Be Magic, and it has a jasmine, rose, and lemon that's going to have the snow mushrooms in it. So I don't know what will come first, but all super anti-aging and hydrating. And of course, Be Nourished, we know smells amazing. This jasmine toner, I am obsessed with. I'm literally making a new bottle for myself every week because I'm misting everybody and myself, and I can't stop. If I have it, I'll let you guys experience it. I might have it in my purse. So yeah, that is what's happening. And so stay tuned for snow mushrooms. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.
Thank you.